go out looking for somebody and they haven't called in.
So it's kind of like an online resume?
It is your online resume, but it's very much more. It's a publishing tool, it's a connection tool. It's there's LinkedIn groups. There's many agriculture groups that you can join on LinkedIn and become parts of conversations that are taking place around the world, maybe about planting practices or planting successes or atrazine or whatever the topics are. I don't think that there's anything sponsored by Missouri Corn on LinkedIn, but it would be very simple to set up. And we are doing something right now in December because I've been horrible at LinkedIn, been trying to get better over this year. And I'm closing out my effort with what I'm calling the 31 days of LinkedIn. I'm writing 31 blog posts to create 31 videos about how to succeed at LinkedIn in the 31 days of December. So I'm up to, today's the 15th, I've done 13 so far. I'll probably do one more tonight if I have any energy left when I get home. So I'm trying not to fall more than one behind. But go here, we've covered all these topics that I just mentioned and more, as far as connecting with folks, bringing more people into your conversations, greater paths to success on everybody's favorite social media platform, LinkedIn, because it's nobody's favorite social media platform. Pinterest, who's on Pinterest, dudes? Are we all out there pinning? What are you pinning?
I'm not food.
Food?
Only Batman stuff.
Yeah.
Almost got her convinced to get a Batman ready.
That'd be pretty sweet. She got a sister?
She didn't go for it.
Yeah. So Pinterest is, here's the stats on Pinterest. It's obviously more female dominated when it comes to the audience, but when men go to there, they're going there for a purpose and they're buying, making purchases and making information connections at a greater rate than what the women are. The women are going, creating their boards and making their dream rooms and their wish boards and all that kind of stuff. My wife does it. We're in the middle of redecorating our guest bedroom right now, and it's all done through Pinterest, and it was awesome. But then I went and bought all the stuff online through it, so proved my own theory. You can pin your YouTube videos that you've created or that you've liked to pin boards on Pinterest. So if you want to create a whole pin board about agriculture videos or how to agriculture video, you can do that. And the SEO optimization is very cool on and automatic on Pinterest as well. So it's another way for you to be found when people are searching for you or for your subject matter with Pinterest. And this is a key factor here. We found this out not just through our agriculture efforts, but working with the education associations. Pinterest is a huge platform of teachers. So if you're trying to get into the schools or talk to the schools or work with Common Ground or the various groups that are getting into the third grades and such, having content out there, videos about your farm, etc. These are things that are going to help you get discovered by the teachers and get those invitations in to be an advocate for agriculture to those little bitty consumers. Instagram. A couple of us are on Instagram. How we digging it? Thumbs up? You're free to use it? Yeah, I love Instagram. It's like...
Because you can tie it to Facebook so easy.
You can tie it to Facebook, that's one thing, but I love it because what you were just talking about with Facebook, why you don't like Facebook. I go to Facebook, or my alarm goes off, grab my phone, turn off my alarm, I hit Instagram, and it's full of like cool pictures of positive things. Like I follow National Geographic, and they post like once an hour. So I've got like 8 hours from overnight of pictures of like tigers and bears and nature and stuff, and it's really cool and positive, where it's not full of like, vote for me for president stuff, or do whatever president stuff. Again, I've created the people I follow, that follow list, and I know that stuff's out there, but I've chosen not to engage it there. So Instagram's my safe place. And a lot of people are using it that way. It's very good though for the retail efforts. If you want to get into the, we talked about agritourism yesterday with the one corner who has the agritourism, and Leroy Shadow up at the dairy up in Northwest Missouri. They're big on Instagram and taking pictures of the cows and the colored milk and stuff. They're very big. The interaction rates are much higher. You're going to get more comments and likes, and you can even get shares through third-party apps through Instagram if you're taking good pictures and providing quality content. So it's a really cool thing to do. This is 2 years old and still the most popular Instagram post that was ever made. Will Smith hanging out with Justin Bieber. I saw Nathan like this picture, but I didn't like it.
I'm a believer.
Hashtag corn has almost 1.8 million Instagram posts behind hashtag corn, and not all of it is corn recipes. The #1 post is harvest here.
And it only has 1,189.
Yeah, well, this is the #1 on this, when I pulled this down the other day. It's got 1,200 likes on it, 24 comments. I didn't look to see how many of these were, I just let that number up there to show. But I've never had a post get 1,200 likes.
No.
And that's not a really cool picture either, but it's telling the story.
Yeah.
It's telling the
It's a
story.
video though.
It is a video.
I don't know, I can't see from this
Well, The
angle.
Bachelor, I wondered if he was the one that posted it.
Could be.
Yeah, that's
I'll check.
Check,
not real.
not real.
It is real, he's a real farmer.
All right,
He
well,
was
here's,
actually in
here's
Iowa's
another
version
farm
of this
picture.
program.
So a third of these pictures right here, if we're playing tic-tac-toe, are production related versus food related. Nike does a really good job. National Geographic's actually the largest following. They've got the largest impact across, when you combine all their social media channels, because they're telling their story. I don't know if they're selling any more magazines. I haven't seen anybody pick up a National Geographic magazine itself in forever, except at the old vintage shops and stuff. But those pictures, your dentist, yeah. But Nike does a real good job of, they highlight their products, but they highlight the people using their products. They highlight the stories behind their products. The Super Bowl guys, the Seattle Seahawks, and these Olympic skaters, and here's a spring training photo here. They're, telling the story of whoever that is, Bo Jackson, or it's not Bo Jackson, but whoever that is using the Nike products and telling the story behind those products for professional athletes and amateur athletes. So you buy more Nike products. Kevin McCarthy, who I showed you a while ago, is very active on Instagram. And you wouldn't think that the majority leader of the United States House of Representatives could get almost 16,000 followers on Instagram, but he does. And he's showing stuff where he's touring the country. Here he was at some motorcycle rally that he went to. Kevin's a pretty uptight guy. He's kind of cool, but he's kind of uptight. So he's hanging out with the motorcycle guys. He's showing behind the scenes. Here he is, I think this was Veterans Day or some sort of military ceremony. Getting ready for the holidays with his family, so big about his family. And he's putting pictures. Some fortune cookies contain no fortune. And he's getting interaction from his supporters. He's getting new audience here. He's a fuddy-duddy Republican, but he's using the Instagram here, and the kids are digging it. Those 16,000 people aren't all fuddy-duddy Republicans. So the other cool thing is you can also make 15-second videos on Instagram and push those out. I'm going to post out that chandelier being risen later on Instagram. I guess a couple of you others did as well. The hashtags, you can put the hashtags, rule of thumb, put the hashtags in the first comment, not in the caption. If you put it all in the caption on Instagram, it looks kind of spammy. So put it in the first comment below and then load that up with your 3 to 6, maybe more hashtags there to be effective. Always tag the location of where you're at. So when people go to look and see how many pictures were taken in Jefferson City or how many pictures were taken here at Missouri Corn Growers. If you looked at Missouri Corn Growers on Instagram right now, I'd be the mayor of Instagram on Missouri Corn Growers because I think I posted 3 pictures in the past few days from here. That's probably more than anybody else is doing. I don't know what Steve's doing back there, but those are the things to do. So what is the best way, any Instagram questions before I go further?
What about Vine?
Vine?
Yeah.
Twitter's Vine app is still alive, it's still active, people do things with it. With 12-second videos on Vine, it hasn't really captured things. And you can also get into the other apps, the live streaming apps like Meerkat and Periscope. Twitter owns Periscope. We're messing around with those as well. They're,
So,
it's all about the audience.
Videos of, combine running.
Do you gain success with it?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit? Like a dozen a little bit or hundreds a little bit?
I don't know, have to look.
Okay, all right, get back to me. But again, it's all about the audience that you built and the audience that has built you into their audience, the people that are following you, which goes into this question. How do I get more likes and followers and what have you, retweets? How am I going to do this? Well, the hard answer is you have to earn it. You have to earn it by being interesting. You have to earn it by being educational, informative, entertaining, mostly entertaining when it comes to the social media. Frame all these things in ways that tell the stories through the pictures and videos that people don't usually see. If you can get a sunset on a tractor, that's awesome. If you can show those pictures of the golden corn coming out of off the belt, people love to see that stuff. Because they don't know. If you can, people are looking for that kind of stuff, and people will hit those hashtags and find your content and start following you, liking you, and then you got to be consistent with it. You got to commit to being consistent with it. You just can't do it once in a while. So what else can you do social media for? We're going to use it for listening. I don't know why I keep hitting the laser because it doesn't work on the screen. Well, we can use it for listening. Here's a post here where this dude here is called Non-Dairy Carry on Twitter, but he's newsjacking the agriculture, the pro-agriculture hashtags of AgChat and AgProud. And here he's got I love bacon next to a picture of a bunch of dead pigs.
And Dairy Carey is a very outspoken farm person. So he's also making fun of Dairy Carey, who is
Okay.
very loud and proud when it comes to agriculture.
So Monsanto, this is a Farm Fairy Crafts, which is actually it's a craft-related blog, but they're anti-GMO. So she's double downing on her audience to attack Monsanto all the time. Monsanto has a staff of like 3 or 4 people that's their job, is just to monitor internet mentions of their company and catalog all that so they can have proper responses and be on the ball. They're listening to what's being said here. They're watching. They're watching. Go out and support. Go out and support. Send tweets out to, hey, at Missouri Corn, thanks for having us this week. Hey, at Eris Bistro, thanks for the dinner last night. Good cooking, whatever. We put on an event earlier this year, and here's just a bunch of people saying Rocket Group is pretty cool or something. I don't know, I'm not going to read it. But they're supporting what we did through our mention and our hashtag. Saying thanks along the same way here. Here's a guy, Chuck France, is a digital artist, and he was part of the production team on a commercial for the Missouri Lottery. I don't know if you've seen this commercial with the Magic Elf. I hadn't seen it either until I saw this video, or until I saw his tweet, but he was thanking the main agency and Missouri Lottery for letting him be a part of this. So it's just an example of saying thanks. 2 most powerful words on social media are thank you. You can say thank you, Missouri Corn. Thank you, Jefferson City, for having us. Thank you, Missouri consumers, for enjoying our product. So on and so forth. These are things that are going to help you grow your audience, showing gratitude. Relationships and sales. Here's a guy, Reg Sadler, he's from St. Louis. He's a very urban advocate, very big in the urban movement, in the various urban movements in St. Louis. But he was tweeting out the other day about how farm dust protects kids from developing asthma and allergies. I can vouch for this because as soon as I moved off the farm, I got all the asthma and the allergies. My God. I'm 2 days late on an allergy shot. I might not make it through the day. Just saying. But this guy tweeting this information to his audience of urban advocates got 21 retweets and 18 likes in like the 30 minutes after I saw this, like 30 minutes after he tweeted it. And so he's getting that audience, that message out there about a positive message about farm life out to an urban audience. And that's something that we could have all been like, dude, I could have told you, come out to the farm anytime, I'll show you my dust, whatever.
They might take that the wrong way.
Yeah, I know. My friend Debbie, even though she's from Kansas, she's from a good friend. She was telling the story when they had the ice storm out in western Kansas last month. I was trying to see how much they got. But anyway, she was telling the story through Twitter and through a photograph app called Stellar, which I haven't really kicked the tires on too much, but she was testing it out. But she went around taking pictures of all the ice on her farm in Kansas and the cattle, and while her husband was dealing with the cattle and breaking up ice in the water sources and stuff, she was out there telling that story. And that's what you can do. We talked about tweeting from the cab. We talked about all the cab time. Those are things you can do to help tell your story in corn production. Let's look at some audiences here. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, but for example, in Jefferson City, we have 38,000 Facebook accounts. We have 41,000 people in our town, and 38,000 of them are claiming Jefferson City as their home on Facebook. And you put 50-mile radius on that, which goes up to Columbia, down to the lake, now to Sedalia, and almost to Sedalia, now to Osage County and such. It goes up to 240,000. We've got about 54% of Missourians active on Facebook at least once a month. And then if we compare it to Twitter, we've only got about 2 million Twitter audiences. These numbers here on the Facebook numbers are all personal profiles. The Twitter numbers are personal profiles, business profiles, people with multiple profiles, what have you. So this is all this information I say is more accurate than the Twitter information. Studies have shown that about 19% of online America is active on Twitter, so that's kind of the number I base things on, but these numbers were derived through using the ad tools to show me what the audiences are. But again, this Twitter audience is full of influencers. This is full of Nathan's mom.
Here's that joke time too.
Easy, easy. Then we can start looking at, we're putting more of these demographic segments that we talked about earlier, the information that people have revealed about themselves. I know that in Jefferson City, there are 7,200 people who say they're a Republican, 2,800 who say they're a Democrat. I know there's 17,000 people that are men under the age of 18. I know there's 2,400 who say they're small business owners. I know that 9,400 say they like cosmetics. I didn't put a gender. There's 4,700 people who are advocates or aggressive about food and dining and such. Because these people have all said that they like this type of content on Facebook. So we can go into the ad tools and pick out the different demographics, enter the different keywords, and the audience numbers go up and down based on what that means. There's 640 engaged women. Sorry, boys. So, going back to where we just were this morning, hashtag MOLEG, MOLEG, is the hashtag for all the conversation on Twitter and Facebook that goes on underneath the dome here in Jefferson City. Is there a popular one, Samantha, for Congress? Just hashtag Congress?
I actually don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that either. I should know that.
They don't get anything done anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't
They
matter.
don't need a
Yeah.
hashtag.
So focus your efforts here. Focus your efforts here in Jefferson City, because nearly 100% of those people, even Jay Barnes, who did admit he saw our tweets,
Yes, he did.
are active on social media. So what are you going to talk about on the social media? 5 minutes left here. Brian's anxious over there. What are we going to talk about? The topics are plentiful. Everything you do on the farm is interesting to somebody. From turning on the water to putting the seed in the ground, to telling the story about what all this nutrient is that I'm putting in the ground and how it stays on my farm. It doesn't flow into the river. Be accurate and truthful, by the way, on that last one. There's no shortage of topics because people, Becky was here, she'd have a heart attack. I was showing this picture.
Is that you?
No, it's not, and it's my
That's his
grandpa
dad.
again. Yeah. Did you see my grandpa's hashtag on the tractor? No, this is actually from that Dodge commercial a couple of years ago, the Paul Harvey Dodge commercial. People went nuts with that thing. It got, tens of millions of views that night before, and people still referenced it and parodied it and all that. Because people, the picture of the farmer, the story of the farmer, this right here, with his no-cab tractor. Who was telling me about no-cab? Oh, Katie, no cabs on the Steen farm.
Nope, can't get in and out of the turkey barn.
Okay. It's true.
What I followed up
Being
with,
practical
even though
about
he's
it.
had 4 heat strokes, he doesn't want a cab.
So anyway, this is what they think, this is what our consumers think that we all look like. And maybe some of us do. I kind of did when I had the farm. I didn't have a cab tractor. I had a roof tractor at the end. But not a cab. That was a Ford too. But they all think that we're doing it this way. So tell the story of what we're doing. Here's a story, growing use of drones poised to transform agriculture. We were just talking about the privacy and stuff, but there's also positive benefits to using drone technology for agriculture to get that sky-high view of your property and your lines and what's going on out there. So those are kind of stories you can tell how you're using new technology methods to do the agriculture. This was a story, I left this in here from last year, but this was a story, I don't know if you guys hear about this. The dude from the Rams, he quit playing football and started a sweet potato farm. And the way the story took hold of the people's imagination, it basically came that he produced every sweet potato in the world last year for Thanksgiving. Even though he had, 15, 20 acres of sweet potatoes and he gave them all to a food charity. That's just what he wanted to do. But it's a great agriculture story. It actually looks like kind of like my Ford tractor, the roof and the rust, mostly the rust. This was a tweet from Popular Mechanics the other day that you could have retweeted or interacted with. And they did a story about how it works, how the corn engine ethanol injection works, and how it's not the E85 direct injector, and how it's not bad for engines, was the end result. This is Popular Science, or Popular Mechanics that said this. Bradley's pretty good.
He's very effective in China.
TED Talks, if you're familiar with TED Talks, it's like these day-long symposiums all across the country happen in various different places, and people talk about various topics. And one of the things that they're very popular topics in the TED Talks is about the food system and the quality of the food system and how how all of us are killing all of them the way we produce our food. So this would be good rebuttal type content that you could get in there and say, this is the way I do it, this is the way I do it safely, this is the way I produce
It's a
it.
shame.
I know, right? You could take pictures of, again, pictures to tell your story, from the Cornhusker heads to the cat photos to whatever. Everything you do is content. Always right here, in your hands right now. 1, 2, 3, 4 of you have the most powerful camera and the most powerful video camera that you probably own right there in the palm of your hands, or within reach of your hands 90% of the day. Something cool happens, boom, take a picture. Something cool happens, boom, take a video. Y'all stood there taking pictures of a chandelier going up in the air this morning.
It's awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
But what could you have done on the farm today to take a cool photo or a cool video like that? I only took a video and a picture too. What could have they done? They could be telling the story of what's not being done on the farm because you're here through photos and videos. The point is that you've got this powerful tool, which, by the way, once you take that picture and take that video, you can upload it in a matter of seconds to your Twitter, to your Facebook, to whoever, to whatever platform you choose, your LinkedIn, to help tell your story and become a better advocate across these social channels. And so the other thing you want to be doing is making sure that you're not wasting your time doing it. Am I getting likes? Am I getting follows? Am I getting comments? Am I moving any needles? Watch your analytics. All of these platforms have analytics built into them. You can just click and see how many people are actually seeing my posts, how many people are seeing my tweets, how many people are watching my videos, how long are they watching my videos. Anything over 10 seconds is extremely good. If you're going to make a video, always put the car chase in the first 10 seconds. Because that'll get them past 10 seconds. Facebook, again here. If you need some inspiration, look here. There's two things I'm going to mention about this chart. These are the 10 most popular Facebook pages as far as fan count and fan reach in the United States from November. Okay, so we've got Coca-Cola with 94 million. Let's look at this. Coca-Cola Food Company, McDonald's Food Company, Red Bull Food Company, Nike could use plastic corn, I guess, Oreo Food Company, KFC Food Company, Starbucks Food Company. People like food. So let's tell them behind the curtain. Let's tell the positive story to advocate for agriculture across these channels because they're already connected to these foods. Do you have to be everywhere? No, you don't have to be everywhere. You have to be where your audience is. And in Missouri, they're all on Facebook. You need to be active on Facebook. Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
You need to be active on Facebook because, as I said, more than 55% of the people in Missouri are active on that platform every month. And the average is somewhere over 21 minutes a visit. And we're visiting multiple times a day. So you don't have to be everywhere, but you need to be where your audience is. The only thing I would suggest you do when it comes to everywhere is go and get your Twitter handle, go and get your LinkedIn name, go and get your names on all the platforms. So when you do something does blow up, if you're not going to use Instagram, at least have your name on Instagram. So when you do want to use it, it's there for you. You don't have to become Missouri Nathan Korn instead of everything else. So again, listen first, everything second. Listen for those opportunities to jump into conversations. Listen for people who are leaders in these conversations already and connect with them. Connect to the Corn Growers Association. Connect to Rocket Group. Listen to what's going on here. Because what's happening is that our friends and our families are sharing bad information, false information. As much as this is a fake photo. Do you remember this when Hurricane Sandy came up the New York coastline? And this picture was all over the place. It was shared millions of times the first day. It was all photoshopped. It was all faked. You shared this fake storm photo, but not the business you actually liked. Meanwhile, the local small business that you liked, that you used to go to get coffee every morning, went out of business because nobody ever checked in at Facebook. Nobody ever tweeted how good their coffee was. Nobody ever Instagrammed their cinnamon buns or whatever. If you like something, if you advocate for something, whether it's corn growers or cinnamon buns, share that with these people. These people are your Facebook friends. If they're really your friends, should you want to share with them the things that you enjoy and the things that you partake in, so that maybe they'll do the same, which will protect the small business and protect the city of New York from fake Photoshop pictures? So why do people share on Facebook? Well, they want to bring the valuable and entertaining content to others. They want to define ourselves to others. We want to define ourselves now as advocates, right? So you want to define yourselves to others. You want to grow and nourish the relationships that you have with your friends and family and followers. Self-fulfillment. Narcissism is what that means, because we're all narcissists, especially me. I'm videoing this presentation. It's kind of narcissistic. It's for your reference later. And narcissism. And to get the word out about causes and brands like Missouri corn, and agriculture, and Missouri, and the way of life. Because when it comes especially to Facebook, we've come up with this formula. A share is greater than a check-in, which is greater than a comment, which is greater than a like, which is greater than nothing at all. We talked about it yesterday. There's the likes. Give me a share so I can say something cool about it. Give me a comment. Give me a check-in so I can say I liked Era's Bistro or I like Missouri corn. It's the most powerful action you can take on Facebook is to share that content, to retweet that content, to push somebody else's content further with your own implied endorsement, with your own written endorsement or opposition to the content you're sharing. How often should you post? We're almost there. We're almost there. How often should you post? As much as you feel that you need to, but at least, if you want to be successful at it, at least once a day. Do something at least once a day, and that keeps you active in the algorithm, because if you go inactive for days or weeks or months at a time, the algorithm punishes you because your audience isn't, whether it's friends, family, or fans, or followers, they punish you because you haven't been active and nobody's been interacting with you, and you have to rebuild. And you don't want to rebuild because that takes time. Also, because the lifespan, you should post as often as possible, or at least once a day, because the lifespan of the post is very, very short. These things, the tweet lasts 18 to 20 minutes. There's 300,000 tweets sent every minute, or every second of every day. That's a lot of information that you've got to try to wade through. The same with Facebook. Even though these people are connected to you and they've chosen to be connected with you, you've got a lot of competition. And your competition is not just from the other agriculture voices. It's not just from the local newspaper. It's not just from it's the sports teams that they like. It's the bands that they like. It's the recipe pages they like. Your competition is not the things that you would normally consider your competition. It's everything. Think about the very things that you've liked on Facebook, or the very things that you followed on Twitter. All those people are competing to get your attention. It's the same way for everybody else. And here I say again, the most powerful tool is right there in your pocket. Film and video, right there. This film and video, pictures and video, gets greater interaction across all the social channels than anything, especially just words on a screen. And I'm going to turn the volume on. And here's a little treat for you.
That's Ryan Newman.
Where did you wait to go?
No. This is for the
Political side too.
This is for the entire internet here. You do a great job with number 39, Go Army Chevrolet. And you also do a great job with your Twitter and your Facebook and your social media efforts. There's a lot of social media experts here in this crowd today. Can you give any advice on marketing a brand such as yourself with a unique skill set?
Well, I'm gonna spoil a little bit of your party because I don't personally do my Twitter and my Facebook.
I'm going to have to delete that part.
But I will say that I am in contact with the people that do it. So it is what I'm doing, it is who I am and all those things, but I don't physically, I'll show you my phone. It's an old flip phone, okay?
I saw that on the History Channel too.
Yeah. That will be an American record someday. But honestly, to answer your question, it's extremely important from a marketing side and from a personal side to show the real you. And the internet has opened that up to everybody. The sponsors want us to open it up to the fans, because the fans like to have that connection. They're the same people that are doing that Twitter, Facebook, and all those things. Try to connect a driver's life to a fan's life to a sponsor's life. So that tie is definitely important, and I understand that. And that's why we have people that help us do that. But for me to sit there and do it, it wouldn't happen all the time, because I like hunting in the outdoors, and it's hard to type quietly when you got a 10-point buck stand underneath your tree stand. So.
That's a good call. He's at Ryan Newman 39 as his Twitter. Obviously, that's a couple years old because he's got a different number, and I don't even think he races Chevy anymore. There's 2 points that you need to consider, and then we close with this. His first point was that he couldn't do it alone. Missouri Corn can't do this alone. That's why we got you guys here, and that's why we've had the previous classes here, to become these advocacy voices and to use these channels, these new media channels, the traditional media channels. This is your chance to be the Ryan Newman support team for Missouri Corn. Just as you can be the Ryan Newman to Missouri Corn, and they can be your support team as well, and help you to find opportunities and help to put you into opportunities where you can advocate for corn. So whether you want to do it in your own backyard or at the national level, this opportunity is now up to you. And it will be for as long as you want to be involved in corn race. That's all I got for this. Any questions? Slow clap. Slow clap. Yeah, I get it.
That's about it, yeah.
Guys, thanks for putting up with me. This is my last real presentation. I'll help Steve out for a little bit. He's got the afternoon. Brian's going to talk to us while we're having some lunch. Lunch is here. If you want to get cleaned up and grab some good Lutz's barbecue and some better Lutz's barbecue chips, and then we'll go on here with the rest of the afternoon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We'll get you in there. Huh? We'll get you in there.